policies. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Typical. Etsy have changed their policies, and these go into effect on the 9th of March. So I thought it was important to go through them. And just as I was about to dig through them all, a good friend of mine let me know that on Reddit, user I refuse to poop, wonderful name, had actually sorted it out, done them a side by side on using the Wayback Machine. If you haven't used that before, it's a website that lets you look at historical pages on the internet, what they looked like before. So we're able to see the new policies and the old policies and see what's different about them. So that is most very helpful for sure. So I was having a look through them, and then I figured we could totally go through them all together. You can all help me as well with the bits that I don't quite understand, but if you're in a hurry, you don't have time to look through all of this, quick recap of what I'm seeing. There isn't a huge amount of difference, but the one that's getting everyone's panties in a bundle, there appears to be a change to the Etsy API. The API is the back-end smart stuff that lets developers dive in and get for tools like eRank to be able to get the data off the site. And the one change they're allowing is for people to be able to use the API to make payments through Etsy. I think I've said that the right way around, which is going to mean that it'll be possible through Etsy ads, when people see an offsite ad on a different site, if the creator of that site has set it up, you'll be able to, a guest will be able to check out without even having to leave that site. They'll just be able to check out on the site, which I think could be a cool thing, but we'll have to see how it works in practice. And they'll be informed, I believe, that they are buying from Etsy and they'll get all the details and everything, but they won't have to do the extra step. They'll be able to check out right there and then. So yeah, this sounds kind of quite cool, but we'll have a look at it. Apart from that, there's some little changes, but I was only having a wee look, and hopefully we'll have a bit more of an in-depth dive, and with people here to help me as well, with you guys, so if you see stuff that I'm missing as well, because obviously none of us are experts on this thing, so there might be some things that have skipped my attention, but let's dig this up. I see Dulcie's in the house already. Hello there, and everyone who's made it early. I know this is a surprise. Will these new policies address print on demand in any way? Everybody. They address everybody. I don't think there's anything specific, but we'll see. And Stevie D's Cruises, you're most welcome. Thanks for the info. Right, let's stick this up and have a look, because we've got quite a few policies to get through. I can hopefully still see chat. I can. So basically, as I said, this is the Wayback Machine. It wasn't me that set this up. I refused to poop, set up this on the Wayback Machine. So thank you very much to them. And basically, it's showing you, as you can see, this is what the left-hand side is what the policy looked like before, and the right-hand side is what it's changed to. So anything that's different is going to be highlighted in yellow or blue, depending on whether it's added or taken away. And the first one is the privacy policy. If you haven't read these policies, it is important. This is the legal nonsense by Etsy. As sellers, we have to know what's going on. So the house rules on Etsy, it's always worth checking these. And even if you've read them recently, reminding yourself every now and again. So reminding the old policies on the left, the news on the right. Let's have a look. So yeah, blue's where something's added. So obviously they're telling us the policy was published about a week ago and it takes effect on March the 9th. So if you have any issues with this, it's a really good idea to check in with Etsy. I can indeed just level these up a bit so we can keep together. So initially, no changes. It's very handy to have all these highlighted. Here we go. So the first little bit, it's annoying me. I can't just quite line that up. There we go. Can everyone see this okay? Let me know in the chat if I'm actually just talking and not showing anything. So first bit is talking about the Eatsy's API. As I said, this is the bit that allows developers who are building websites and things to be able to get in and get the information off of Eatsy. So they have changed it a wee bit. That used to say while users, now it says users because they've added a bit more. So this is the bit. They're adding the ability to link bank account. So you may choose. So if you're signing up to, you'll see if you signed up with eRank, company I also work for, I'm not getting paid for any videos I make on here. But when you sign up for any of these third-party apps, you have to, there's a little check that I agree to give permissions for this. And now the permissions will also be, now eRank is not going to be using your your bank, but likewise, you may choose to link your bank account to pay for purchases or receive payments in the case of sellers through a third-party service available through the site or app. So this is, the API is going to have the ability to get the data to be able to pay for things as well. Again, this is just going to have to be, we're going to have to see what it's like when it rolls out, but it is for allowing for off-site ads on the website that they're on. People are going to be able to buy directly from there. There might, I don't want to speculate, but there's ideas in my head thinking what Etsy might be doing with this. It's not dodgy. It sounds kind of cool. Let's look for the next bit. There's a few bits here. If anyone's in the UK, we've had a few bits of, or the United Kingdom added. So it used to say if you're an Etsy buyer in the EU, Norway, Iceland, or Liechtenstein, you may be asked to authenticate your payment method. And now they've added, if you're an Etsy buyer in the EU, Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, or the United Kingdom. That is just because the United Kingdom has come out of the EU, but we still have the same regulations and a lot of things. So that's just clearing that up. Nothing's changed there. It's just we used to be included in the EU, and now United Kingdom is separate from the EU, but we still have the same rules, if that makes sense. Leslie, hello there, and D Marie is in the house too. Okay. So what have they added here? So it used to say other members may see the date you joined, ratings, reviews, information related to items you review. Okay, other members may see the date you joined, ratings, reviews, including your display name, city and or country. Oh, now reviews, I've seen them. Obviously, the review says who you are, but that's the first it's saying. I don't think that ever you could see. People can see your reviews, including your name and the country where you live. I don't know that it's a big deal, but interesting. And here's a change that's said this is just adding because they've added something new. So they're talking about seeing your favorites. Now they're saying your favorites and collections. So collections are like favorites, but they're just adding the term there. So your saved product listings that are grouped by you. It's like an old school treasury really. So yeah, that's totally makes sense. Okay, and yes, and here's a change. Instead of just terms of use, as otherwise legally required. So let's go back. For sellers, we may collect and use information about you in order to feature you in marketing and advocacy materials, and to feature you in your shop on and off the platform, as provided for in Etsy's terms of use or as otherwise legally required. Okay, that's just legalese speak. They're just going as covered in our terms of use or anything else that we haven't thought of that might be legal. Totally makes sense. I think they've got a new lawyery person in to make sure the wording's perfectly fine. That makes sense. All the same stuff again, nothing different. That's good. That's handy. Here we go. Ooh. So what's changed here? This is, we obtain location information you provide in your profile or your IP address. So saying, and using non-precise location information marketing, which it was before. So this was using approximate location information such as city or country for marketing and personalization and tailoring our services to you. Okay, they're just being more specific. Again, just legally, that's not really a change. That's just how they're wording it for what they're doing with your data, figuring out the information that you give them and the stuff they get from your IP. Gotcha. Guys, stop me if you want to know anything more about anything, but there is a ton of this to get through. Oh, they've added a bit about the two-factor I can never say authentication. Right. Etsy Make. I'm just trying to line them up for research or feedback. Yeah. So they're saying Etsy may send you a text, reach out by telephone for research or feedback. So they may send you a text for security purposes when you enable two-factor authentication. And okay, and this bit's new. When you contact a seller using Etsy Messages, the feature that allows buyers and sellers to communicate through services, right? Etsy Messages is the feature that allows buyers and sellers to communicate through services. We may share aggregated information about your use of the service to sellers. For example, if you're a frequent purchaser, a new buyer, so they can provide you with a better service and so we can improve our site and apps. Yeah, so we've seen when someone's purchased from you in the past, you get a wee thing saying repeat, there's a little star saying like repeat buyer. So when you're messaging someone, yeah, it's just going to say, if you message someone, we might put a note for the seller to say, hey, this is a repeat buyer or something. So yeah, cool. Can't remember if they did that. I think they did that already, but it's just clearing their back there. Okay, you can unsubscribe at any time from marketing emails or messages through the opt-out link included in such emails, advocacy emails, or messages. Right, so they've just changed the word marketing emails to in such email. Oh boy. Oh, sorry if it makes you all feel sick scrolling quickly. Don't try and read it. I'm just looking for the highlighted sections. So here, another mention of favorites, and now they're mentioning favorites and collections. So collections are here to stay. If you haven't used them, they're fun. They're just like the old school treasuries where you can collect together some favorites, so you can make groups of things, I suppose, like Pinterest boards. And oh, here we go. So Etsy may also use the first-party data, e.g. your prior shopping and browsing patterns, and may combine it with other data collected from you or received from our advertising and marketing partners. Okay. So yeah, Etsy are, I suppose they would. That makes sense. If you're on offsite ads, or if there's some kind of, if you've agreed when you're on a site to share your data, collect cookies and all the rest of it, then Etsy might be using the data they're getting. So this kind of says to me, I may be wrong. Yes. This is kind of saying the whole personalization algorithm is going to get even deeper. So you know how Facebook works. If you look at something, or if you mention something somewhere quietly in the depths of your head, then for the next week on Facebook, you're going to get Facebook ads of that thing that you thought of quietly. So what you're going to see from Etsy, I don't know if it's going to be in ads or in what you see in search and stuff, it's going to be getting more and more targeted, or they're leaving it open for the possibility of doing this. That's cool. So yeah, provide you with more relevant and useful advertising on our site or apps, including personalizing and tailoring our services to you. So even, yeah, personalizing the emails they send out and sharing the data back with Google or Facebook. I guess there'll be some kind of an agreement there. Interesting. Okay, they've added fraud to this thing. Okay, yeah, so it's protecting against intellectual property. Oh, that's another thing that there is a little bit more on intellectual property thing, but yeah, protecting against spam, harassment, IP infringement, crime, and fraud and security risks. That's cool. Buying and selling. Etsy will facilitate the sharing of information between the two members involved in the transaction, such as other members' shipping address and email address. Yeah, so before it just said such as other members' shipping address, but it didn't say the email address. So of course they shared the email address. Yeah, I think that was just a oversight, them not having that. Yeah. Okay. Since this is an important part of the services we provide, we need to do this in order to perform obligations under the terms of use. We may partner with third parties to enable you make a purchase from an Etsy seller on that. Yeah, this is the one, right? We may partner with third parties to enable you make a purchase from an Etsy seller on that third party's website or mobile app. The third party's terms of service, privacy policy, and other policies may apply in addition to Etsy's own policies, and they will collect information directly from you in connection with your purchases. The third party partner will share information collected from you with Etsy for the purposes of fulfilling the order and for any other purpose disclosed to you at the time you provide your information. So that's what everyone's up in arms or excited about. So yeah. So it's not just Etsy offsite ads. So a third parties, to enable you to make a purchase from an Etsy seller on that third party's website or mobile app. So that kind of could be good. That could be like people can make little apps that you can go, you're able to sell on your website or sell on your blog or sell on places. I'm thinking possibility of expanding the affiliates from Etsy so people can sell on their blog and stuff. Okay. Interested to see how that's going to work. But yeah, so it totally is letting us know that, of course, if through the Etsy API you're on a different website and you're buying something off of Etsy, then that different website is going to be gathering data about you as well. So always be careful what websites you're looking at. But I'm sure Etsy won't partner with them unless they're doing good things with the data. But yes, of course, there's going to be two websites, the Etsy and the website you're on, that's gathering data about you. So if you're bothered with things like that, then yeah, maybe don't purchase from those kind of sites. But it's an interesting thing. I look forward to seeing how it works. Yeah, guys, let me know, what do you all think about the idea of this? What do you think they're going to do with it? Talk to me about this while I catch up on some juice, because I'm dry. But I'm not too scared about that, though. I think this could really be a positive. More colours, yeah. So they're adding the word fraud quite a bit, such as to prevent crime or fraud. You will see, because this is highlighting any changes. In some of these, I did notice that they've just changed some punctuation. Etsy may share demographic information with business partners. I assume these are the people that we're sharing, that we're getting to buy from as well. But unless otherwise stated, it will be aggregated and depersonalized so that personal information is not revealed. Yeah, that's generally the thing. If you're using the API and stuff, it's important that any data that other websites get can't actually identify the individual. They can just get, oh, 55% of Etsy buyers are female, but they don't get, like, to be able to dig in and see and see who is female. Okay, that's a silly example, but you know what I mean. I think we're nearly done with this one, but there's a few more to go. As I say, I just scanned through these earlier today. It's always worthwhile reading these yourself if you haven't looked at the policies for a while. Oh, here we go. A government or other. Ooh, that's customer. You can find information about customer requests we received and processed under CCPA, GDPR, and similar laws during the previous calendar year. So you can look and see if there was any privacy requests and that sort of thing. There'll be a link to that. I'm sure that's just a legal thing that's been added that Etsy have to comply to. They must have like a massive legal team to try and keep on top of all of this. Why have you finished it? There we go. Was there? I don't know why that side finished, but I don't think there's anything else on here anyway. Nope, that's all on that one. So yeah, the big thing there. What is happening there? That's not worked. There we go. The big thing is going to be the allowing third-party apps to have the ability to be able to people to be able to buy directly from your shop without going to Etsy. Sounds interesting. Okay, electronic communications policy. So this was just been updated as well. Let's see if there's anything good on here. Check these out if you haven't read them. You may withdraw your consent, can't speak, electronic communications at any time in your account or by submitting request. So it used to be you used to just have to request in writing, but now you can just request it in your account, which is great. Do you know, it's been so archaic. It's been so back in time that you used to have to always write to withdraw your consent to something that you've signed up without having to write with pen and paper. So you can withdraw consent online now. Oh, that one was easy. Nice short one. So, what is this? Requests for information policy. Oh, this is one. Yes, you can see where they've just made an extra space or something. It's going to show up. This is an absolute pain. But anyway. Okay. Oh, yes. Interesting here. Yes. So, if someone on your behalf is wanting to get hold of the legal data, Etsy requires valid and sufficient legal processes, and they've saying like a subpoena or a court order, and it must be properly served now. And Etsy may object to overly broad or otherwise inappropriate demands as a matter of course. So yeah, what are they talking about? Requests for information. Yeah, so they're kind of protecting us there. It's basically saying people have to apply properly to get that kind of data. I'm just trying to line these up again to make it easier. That's good. They're tightening that up. All requests for member information must be made with valid and sufficient legal processes properly served on us. I take it people have been asking for things, but not serving it properly. That just makes me think of Prince Andrew hiding in his mum's estate so that the legal team couldn't serve them the papers properly. They're slightly political. Well, it's not religious, political. Um, okay. The notice to the member whose records are sought. So if somebody's looking for your data from Etsy, okay, when practical, unless prohibited from doing so, or where Etsy has a clear indication of illegal conduct in connection with the use of Etsy services, Etsy will notify affected Etsy members before disclosing. Ooh, okay, so where they can, but we're talking like this could be if Disney's taking a case out against you. So a clear indication of illegal conduct, you wouldn't get told that somebody's asked for your data, but otherwise you'll get known. It's unlikely that any of us are going to be getting this. But Etsy will notify the affected member before disclosing the information requested about them. Etsy may provide notice, including providing a copy of the legal process. Okay, fair enough. That's that one done. It's good. We're getting through these. So buyer policy. Yeah, for some reason that's the old one's not shown, but we'll still be able to see this. Oh yeah, in fact, yeah, I remember reading this. Interesting, yes. So before this, I remember correct, just as well I read this before. I don't know why that hasn't opened, but anyway. So before it said Etsy does not pre-screen sellers. Now it's saying Etsy does not pre-screen items sold on Etsy and then does not guarantee or endorse items sold. Yeah, so a subtle change, which does mean they're leaving it open that they could actually pre-screen buyers. I don't think they're going to, but they don't pre-screen the items. And they've added to the harassment policy. Now they're saying harassment and discrimination. They're lumping that together. Purchasing. When you buy from a shop on Etsy, you're directly supporting an independent business, each with its unique listings, policies, and processing time. Oh, that's added. Blue, that's added. So each shop, so they're now saying each shop has its own independent processing time, which it does. You also agree to comply with our Etsy gift cards, credits, and coupons policy when you purchase or redeem Etsy gift cards, Etsy credits, or Etsy coupons. Ooh, so there's a whole little extra bit here. When purchasing from sellers using Etsy payments, buyers may authorize a payment with any major credit card, debit card accepted by Etsy, with Etsy gift cards, Etsy credits, Etsy coupons, subject to limitations, and by certain bank transfer services through PayPal where available, Apple Pay, Google Pay, or through Klarna. Why do I always say Klarna where available? Using the third party service, you may be subject to an agreement with the third party. For example, PayPal is a third party, Apple Pay is a third party, Google Pay is a third party. Okay. So yeah, they're saying it's other. Yeah, that makes sense. They're all third parties. When purchasing from sellers who use PayPal only, buyers may pay through PayPal only. Etsy may share your personal or transactional information with those third-party service providers for purposes related to payment processing. Of course, Etsy have to tell PayPal, Klarna, whatever, who it is that's buying. The provider and the processing time for your payment will vary based on the country. Etsy reserve the right to contact you directly and seek payment if there's not enough in your bank. Okay, right. Yeah, so they're saying for the safety of our community, avoid scams and frauds. All transactions must take place through the Etsy checkout system. I don't think that's just to avoid scams and frauds. I think it's to put some money in the Etsy account. But anyway, only transactions that take place through the Etsy checkout system are eligible for our case system. This excludes orders made via standalone PayPal. Right, yeah. So most of us can't use just PayPal anymore. We all have to go through the Etsy checkout. But for the few that can still use PayPal, then you're not eligible. If people buy through the PayPal, they're not eligible for the case system. Okay, yep. They've added the time for when a buyer can leave a review. So it used to say for 100 days after your item's estimated delivery date. Now it's saying for 100 days after the latter of your item's estimated delivery dates. Because you can have a variation. If you're saying my processing time is 3 to 5 days and shipping takes 1 to 2 weeks, then it's the latter date that they'll be able to leave a review. By leaving a review, it doesn't violate our rules for creating and uploading content. Yay. Not allowed shilling or otherwise falsely inflate a shop's review score. Yeah, so you can't get your mates to buy if they weren't going to buy. Your mates can buy, but you can't pay your mates to buy off you to leave a good review. And you can't undermine the integrity, of course. All members of, this is creating and uploading content, so you have to make sure, obviously, that this is what we're agreeing to. Now, a lot of this was included in different areas. They've just moved it about a bit, but we should be, let's go through this anyway, because we do need to know. So, as a member of Etsy, you have the opportunity to create and upload a variety of content like messages, text, photos, and videos. In order to keep our community safe and respectful, you agree you will not upload content that contains hateful, derogatory language or imagery, or any content that is subject to our anti-discrimination and hate speech policy. Perfectly fine. Contains threats, harassment, exhortation, or violates our rules about interference. Violates someone else's intellectual property rights, is false, deceptive, or misleading, contains unsolicited advertising or promotions, requests for donations, or spam, contains private information, whether it's your own or someone else's, encourages or facilitates a transaction that evades the Etsy checkout process, contains prohibited medical drug claims, violates any of the rules described in our prohibited items policy. Some content on Etsy is subject to additional requirements. Please see the related sections above. But yeah, that's pretty clear. Reporting a problem with an order. Here, yes, they've added the word valid here. So if you've got a problem with non-delivery, the following are examples of non-delivery cases. There is no valid proof the item was shipped to the buyer. Now, valid proof can be a tracking number. It can also be you've used an Etsy shipping label. They consider that valid proof. And an item was not sent to the address provided on Etsy. A lot of people mistake this one, and they're saying you have to send to the address that was done in checkout, but an address provided on Etsy, the customer can message you on Etsy messages afterwards and go, oh, I got that a bit wrong here. Here's where I want it sent to, and Etsy can see that. That's okay. Item not as described. Okay, yeah. If Etsy determines that an item is not as described, the seller will be required to refund the order, including original shipping and return shipping if applicable. So, yeah, if Etsy says you didn't do good, you're going to have to pay because a lot of people are like, I don't want to be out of pocket. I'm not going to refund them the shipping. Yep, it's on you. You have to refund them in full and also provide them a shipping label to get the item back. The customer shouldn't be out of pocket if you've messed up. Oh, and here's a one where they've had to add and the UK. But I'm going to read this one out as well because a lot of people don't realise this as well. So, returning an item. Each seller has his or her own return policies, which should be outlined in their shop policies. Not all sellers accept returns. If you reside in the European Union or the United Kingdom, you may be entitled to a 14-day cooling off period or a right of withdrawal, during which time you may return an item for any reason. Read more about the EU and UK right of withdrawal in the help article. So that's just cleared it up. As I said before, the UK was in the European Union. They now are no longer. So before it used to just say the European Union. Obviously now our laws in this are still the same as the EU. So they have to now say the European Union and the United Kingdom. Nothing's changed, but it's good to know if you reside in the EU or the United Kingdom, be aware of that. Rami, hello there, and Custom Charm Farm live. Well, I hope I'm live. I feel live. Oh, it looks like this one didn't load up. What have we got? Advertising and marketing policy. So if anyone's missed it, we're just going through the new policies, which will take into effect on the 9th of March. So we've got them side by side to look at everything here. And this is using the Wayback Machine to have a look at how things are changed. So anywhere where there's a little bit of blue, this is something that's been added since the last policy. So it's a really easy way to go and have a look at what's changed. So all they've added there for Etsy ads, for more information. So they've just added an extra link to a document you can go and look at. Oh, I remember looking at this one earlier. It's an absolute pain. They've changed some punctuation or some size of some spaces. So that's going to highlight everywhere. But let's see what wordage they've changed. Not too much. That's good news if there's not too much changed. I'll advise everybody to go ahead and read all of these every now and again. Okay. Yes. Ooh, that's a big one. Right. I'm going to have a wee drink before I read this one out. This is a big change. So this is talking about off-site ads. This is the new checkout functionality. So hopefully this explains it a bit better. In addition, certain third-party platforms on which off-site ads are promoted may enable off-site checkout functionality for Etsy listings and are displayed as off-site ads partner checkout. Okay, so if we get any of these, for anyone that's missed this, this is going to be off-site ads on different pages. People are going to be able to check out without having to come back to Etsy. So it's going to show up in your off-site ads by saying partner checkout as well. So that's cool. Specifically, partner checkout allows buyers to purchase and complete the checkout process for such Etsy listings via Etsy payments entirely on and through the third-party platform. This is going to be interesting. Also, this, if it's not been directed to, if you're not being directed to Etsy, this also might mean, don't know, not seen it yet, but it might mean you won't get the whole, you might also like these when you've clicked on this poor person's ad. So it might just mean see the ad, buy the ad kind of thing. There are worries as well. Is it going to show all the variations? Is it going to make sense to the buyer if you've got a more complicated listing? So yeah, maybe we need to simplify our listings a bit. Where did I get to? Specifically, partner checkout allows buyers to purchase and complete the checkout process for such Etsy listings via Etsy payments entirely on and through the third-party platform without a redirect to Etsy.com or Etsy mobile app. In the event of any purchase of your listings through partner checkout, the buyer will be made aware they are purchasing through your shop via Etsy payments and will receive links directly to your shop and your shop policies. That's good to know, of course. You will continue to be responsible for your listings, including shipping, customer support, dispute resolution, regardless of whether the sale is made through partner checkout flow or directly on Etsy.com or Etsy's mobile app. This is going to be interesting as well because it's not going to show up in views or anything. So you could have no views and like 100 sales. Unlikely. In accordance with Etsy's policies. In addition, the indemnification terms are included in the terms of use, will be deemed included in any third-party platforms that enable partner checkout as intended. Third-party beneficiaries, I hate legal big words, of such indemnification rights on the same terms and to the same extent as Etsy, and including with respect to partner checkout and any listings promoted or sold through partner checkout. If you I can't say the easy words now. If you participate in off-site ads, some of your listings may additionally be available for partner checkout as a result. You'll be subject to the related terms and policies as described above. You may opt out of partner checkout only by opting out of off-site ads. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's going to be part of off-site ads. There's no way out of it unless you have the ability to opt out of off-site ads. But I don't. It's apart from the fact that we'll see that they purchased from partner checkout. I don't see that this is going to be. It's like a couple of years back they brought out the Klarna payment things where people can pay in 3 easy installments, but you still get your money. So this is the same. You'll still get your money, I think. Let's see what you guys think about this in the chat anyway. Custom Charm fan, did anyone get the offer to list 20 listings and get $100 in ad money? That should be for the Etsy shop camp if anyone's signed up for that. Hopefully you were. If you were, you'll have seen I got to do the first presentation on the Etsy shop camp, and if you haven't, you'll get to see the replay. But yes, that's part of the Etsy shop camp, and it is legit. Don't do the listings yet. If you do it create 20 listings in the time period of the challenge, then you'll get $100 of ad money. Melissa, not as described for late delivery. How does this apply when the buyer puts a note in the order for a date faster than promised on the listing? No, that shouldn't make a difference. It's not. Your delivery time is what you're promising. If a buyer wants something faster, then tough. But you just that's not part of the policies. You haven't agreed to that. But if a customer does put a note on their order, they want it faster, then you can message them. You can decide, can you ship it out faster? And then you message them and say, I'm doing this. Or if you can't, then you message them and say, this is the time it's going to take as per my policies. What do you want to continue, or would you like me to cancel? Are you asking, should we just auto cancel these orders because we get a lot of them? Buyers seem to think we can demand whatever delivery date they want. No, don't auto cancel them. Auto message them and say, this is as per what my listing says. This is the amount of time it's going to take. Let me know if you want me to proceed. But no, you don't. You don't just take the order and ship it in your own time, and you don't just auto cancel. You're just like, hey, sir, look, mate, you're asking the impossible. So obviously here on the advertising policy, advertising on third-party platforms, including related partner checkouts. I'm looking for, what's everyone think of these partner checkouts? I'm looking forward to seeing how this works. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Coupons are not directly not displayed publicly. As a seller, you may create, promote, and distribute, whereas before it was just create and distribute. Interesting. Um, ooh. So they're removed free of charge here. You also have the option to automatically send a coupon free of charge. You also have the option to automatically send a coupon as a thank you. Yeah. So they've removed the free of charge. Hmm. That's interesting. Well, I suppose this was the targeted coupons were something that was for the paid Etsy subscription, and now it's not. Now it's not paid, or is it? I can't remember. But yes, I suppose if it's only for people who have the paid subscription, then it's not free of charge. And then Etsy may change or stop this targeted offer service at any time upon notice to you. Custom Charm fan likes the new offsite checkout thingy. If it equals more sales, I like it. Agree. It equals an easier way for people to shop, I hope. I don't think I'd like it if like all other ads kind of go like that. So if you're on Facebook and you click on something you can buy without ever visiting just a random website, because I like to check them, and well, I'm absolutely rubbish at telling if they're a terrible website or not, but I do like to check up and go into the website. But if people know it's definitely from Etsy, then that can be kind of pretty cool, hopefully, that we know it's Etsy, don't need to go there, I'm just gonna pay right now. So yeah, if it makes it easier, sounds good. We'll see. We'll see. Why? Why did you keep running out here? Anyway, that was it. Yep. So that's what I'm seeing so far. The main changes. Oh, something's popping up on my computer. Go away. The main changes that I'm seeing. Check it out. Read it yourself. Let me know what you all think as well. But the big thing is this buyer checkout thing. We don't know what it's going to look like. We can only guess, but hopefully it's just going to mean less clicks for the buyer. I'm not sure when it's live, and the policies go into effect soon. I'm not sure how if this is going to be something that like all Google ads can do. I mean, obviously, I would imagine Google would be able to integrate this quickly and easily if they want to. But for other sites, excuse me, I'd be intrigued to see how long it takes, how easy it is, who integrates and stuff. It'll be fun. But yeah, that's the big change. John's in. I'm a bit late. Did I miss anything big? I think that is a big change. Etsy are adding the ability for third-party sites that are using offsite ads to be able to allow people to check out directly from their site rather than have to go to Etsy. So the Etsy API is being adapted to allow payments to be taken through it. Interesting. We'll see how it happens. First I've heard of this. I believe next week. What day are we on today? Well, it's Wednesday today. Next week or thereabouts, the Etsy Q4 investor report is out. So I think we'll hear more in that. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. And if I hear any more about this, I will let you know. But that's all I'm seeing so far. It's not huge, but it's always worth checking these policies. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that helped a bit. Kind of interesting, cool to go through it. I don't think there's anything to worry about yet. um, okay, guys, have a great evening, and yeah, I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for joining me.